Yo, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. Manchester City versus Manchester United, 2-1. Never in my life in this game would have guessed that Manchester United would have won this game. Absolutely not. Both teams had really nothing to offer. If anything, just by a smidge, just by a small margin, it was Manchester City that had something more, where they were controlling the ball more, had more possession of the ball. I mean, barely anything. Really nothing to show for it. But definitely. Yeah, definitely more than Manchester United. Manchester United had their first anything on goal, shot, header, deflection, goof off on goal. That came in the 62nd minute, I think it was. It was Ahmad's header, which didn't look like it was gonna do much, but it definitely took some effort for Ederson to get to the ball. And really good save. But besides that, what else did Manchester United do? What else? The first half was. When you see the highlights, I checked out the highlights in the halftime that they were showing, and it was just the skirmish, the what is it, Kyle Walker with the Højlund, which is absolutely embarrassing from Kyle Walker, just dropping to the ground like that, almost like he got sniped or something. And Højlund, obviously, I don't know what the deal was for him to go all the way and try to confront him, and then Maguire going all the way, and then what's his name, Haaland targeting, just going straight to Maguire for no real reason. I mean, you never really know what's going on in the pitch, but it just seemed unnecessary for Højlund to go up. That was it. That was pretty much the highlight. That, and then which was really sad, Mason Mount's exit. You could tell it's written all over his face. He's really, really upset and disappointed with his career. Not just because he got injured and he has to be taken off this game. His whole career for ever since joining Manchester United hasn't been a good one. And I for one really, really feel bad for him. Absolutely. You could just tell he was just holding back, not necessarily the tears, or maybe, but just the frustration. I'm surprised he didn't kick something or yell or break something, as is typical when you see when they're exiting. And then the goal, the deflection from KDB, and the Gavardio header. If we have to be honest about it, I thought it was a really good header. Just that maybe Onana could have done something. I mean, he put his hands up as if to say, like, nobody's marking him. Yeah, true. But you also could, at least, I don't know, dive for the ball, right? And that was this. That was the highlights of the first half. Nothing happened. So you might think it was bad. It was a boring first half. I thought it was the most regaling, entertaining first half I've seen from both these sides, from Manchester United and Manchester City, the way, Manchester City are currently playing. It was great. I was enjoying it. I was really, really plugged into the game just because I'm seeing City, what's going on with City. I know they have a lot of players that are injured, and you could say that, let's be honest, about most teams. But why are they playing so bad? There is nothing, and there's no excuse, really. I guess your Ballon d'Or winner needs to be on the field, and he makes a huge difference with Rodri. But, I mean, you got other players like KDB, you got Gundogan, Foden, come on, like, play Doku, you got players that could Gavardio also, right? But you got players that could actually make a difference and could actually penetrate that defensive line, and yet they're not doing anything. While on the other side, you got Manchester United players that Ahmad is the only one, Diallo, like, he's the only one that I see that is somewhat of a threat. Nobody else. I'm sorry, Højlund, I don't see. Bruno, I don't see. Nobody there. Menu, perhaps. Who else? Mazraoui, I mean, had that really good steal from Doku. Ends up giving to, I don't know who it was, that ends up, I think it was Højlund, ends up getting it to Højlund. Højlund passes it to Bruno, and Bruno with I mean, that's what I mean. Like, who is dangerous? Who's threatening in this Manchester United squad? Nobody. That was a goal. That needed to be a goal. Bruno, you got to put that in. That's why I'm kind of frustrated. I don't want them to win this way, because it's very misleading. This is not a turning point for Manchester United. It's great for the coach. He just arrived, and, it's great for everybody, right? But it's not going to spell anything. It's not going to mean this is the beginning of nothing. When you look at that squad, and I'm looking at them, and I'm looking at both squads. I'm looking at Manchester City. I'm like, why? What's going on? I guess, all the injuries and stuff, and, Rodri being a big miss. Silva, what's going on with Bernardo Silva? There isn't no Bernardo Silva from last season or the season prior to that, where he just dismantles everybody, right? He just gets past anybody. There isn't that. But then you see Manchester United, and with what? Nobody's going to do anything there. You got to get rid of almost the whole team. And having said that, I don't think they played absolutely bad. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, you got to do better than that. Højlund, you got to do something. Amad Diallo, I mean, he can't do everything, right? And you saw him in the end; he did pretty much everything. It was this game was won because of one player, basically, right? Beautiful stop. I feel really bad for Mateus Nunes. He was asking for the ball too. You got to give him credit. He was asking for the ball, and I don't know how he didn't see. Maybe because he's small in height or something. He did not see Diallo, and Diallo did really good. Not being too impetuous and just giving the ball away. Just stopped it, and Nunez, you could have done a lot better. Just just because everybody was regrouping, everybody was falling back. You had a number of light blue jerseys to block the goal, and Diallo wasn't going to do much. And City should have the confidence knowing that nobody's really going to be able to score from there. I mean, you can never undermine any of these players, but no one's going to do anything for Manchester United, right? But really smart from Diallo. Huge mistake from Nunez. And then I didn't even catch it. Immediately, it was Diallo's goal. I couldn't believe what was going on. And Gavardio, I don't know, man, that... I would think he would have stopped that shot. He should have stopped it, Ederson not calculating, but that's another thing. I wouldn't blame too much on Ederson in my opinion, because Diallo is a quick player. He's a very quick player, That's how he beats you, because of his speed and being so ingenuous with the ball, but mostly his speed and his his agility. Just the fact that he's quick off the block. So no way would I have imagined that this was going to turn out like this. No way. And I think it is very misleading. It's a great thing for Manchester United, obviously, but it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. I applaud Amorim. I don't know if it was the decision to leave out Garnacho and Rashford. Not so much Rashford, but definitely Garnacho. Garnacho offers nothing to this Manchester United squad, and he needs to go. I hope this is a plan. I hope this is, part of the plan to get him to go somewhere else. I really, really hope that. You really need to get rid of players like that once and for all. You're not going to get anywhere with Garnacho. And the sad thing would have been if Manchester City would have won 1-0. I'm sure people are going to say, oh, but you needed Garnacho because you needed his what? He's got no speed. Stop that. He's not beating anyone on a one-on-one. He's definitely not outpacing anyone. Or, like I said, getting past anyone. Mixed feelings about this. I'm happy for the institution, for what is Manchester United. It was a really good game. I'm happy for the game. I had a lot of fun, despite it not really offering that many potential opportunities to score. But it was still entertaining, just because given the history of both these teams, Manchester United just awful for the last, 10, 15 years, I think. And Manchester City, which is former EPL winners and just one of the best teams in the world, not just the EPL, that are just struggling. They're really, really struggling. So, Mazraoui I thought did well. Maguire I thought did well. De Ligt I thought did well. Ugarte was also good. Mainu also I thought was well. Onana, besides the goal, okay. Mason Mount, there was not much going on there. Højlund, not so much. Anthony came in, not really. Diallo was great. Even besides the goals that he scored, I thought he was the only one that was, doing anything in terms of attack, right? And for City, I just feel bad for Mateus Nunes. I never felt that he looks like he fits in in the City squad. Just everybody else from City, just what's going on with Foden, what's going on with KDB, that free kick that just went over the top. It was I've never seen that from this guy. And especially, I would expect that because I never thought he was that great of a guy. I think he's overrated. But given what everybody else has been telling me about him, especially in the past, because I didn't see him play in the past, and that's where he was most effective. He was the greatest. He was awesome. I think he was always in the mouths of everyone for future Ballon d'Or winner. He just nothing besides the deflection with I think it was the Diallo deflection too, the deflection for goal for Gavardio, and I don't know, Ederson with a mistake, also not looking that good. Walker, I thought he did it fairly well. Kovacic, when he came in, he added a little bit more penetration, a little bit more attack, a little bit more pause and attack, and a little bit more of an idea, a little bit more of that old Man City identity that they have, that they look dangerous. They actually look somewhat dangerous when he came in. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.